Welcome to Miniature Pinscher Care and Training Tips from www.trainpetdog.com. Miniature Pinscher, docking tail and ear cropping. The Miniature Pinscher is an old breed of dog that was developed in Germany. It is commonly believed that the breed was bred down from the Doberman Pinscher. However, the Mini Pin was developed much earlier than its larger cousin. The breed is a toy-sized one that is known for being very intelligent. They tend to be very spirited, and they are very courageous. They are known for being very alert and have an alert appearance to them. Cropping the ears and docking the tails is common in the breed and has been common for centuries. Historically, many working breeds, including the Mini Pin, which is used for ratting, had their ears cropped. It was believed that cropping made the dog look more ferocious and commanding, and that the cropped ears would help prevent infections. While it did provide discomfort for the Miniature Pinscher when the ears were cropped, it was believed that the pain was greatly offset by the prevention of major infections that uncropped ears were prone to. Despite being a common practice, cropping was reviewed in the 1980s and was deemed cruel by many countries where it was banned. However, it is still accepted in many countries, including the United States. Like ear cropping, tail docking was done to working dogs. In addition, many dogs had their tail docked to avoid the taxes that were common for owners of dogs with tails. The main reason for docking was to prevent injury to the dog when he was working. In addition, it was believed that docking would increase the dog's speed and would give him a straighter back. Again, during the 1980s, docking was viewed as cruel, and several countries have banned it. If you decide to get your Mini Pin's ears cropped, it is important to consider the pros and cons. The pros of cropping are usually for aesthetic reasons. The dog will look more alert, which gives them a fiercer appearance. In addition to looks, cropping your Miniature Pinscher's ears will lower the risk of ear infections. Lastly, cropping can reduce the risk of the ear ripping during play, which will prevent health problems and long-term vet bills. The cons of cropping the ears are usually centered around surgery and recovery. Any surgery to a dog can be life-threatening, even for something as routine as ear cropping. Generally, your Mini Pin will be at an increased risk of infection while the ears are healing. In addition, he will be in significant pain and his ears will be very tender. Lastly, the taping that is done on the ears can often tear loose, and you will need to go to the vet if this happens. In addition to routine visits, cropping can be very expensive. A Miniature Pinscher should have his ears cropped when he is between the ages of 9 to 12 weeks of age for the least impact on the dog and for the best results. The Mini Pin will be sedated during the procedure, where incisions will be made on the ears. Once the ear is cut in the proper shape, the incision will be sutured and the ears will be taped so they stand erect. The puppy will remain at the veterinarian's office overnight or for a few days and then sent home with his ears in a cup, rack, or simply taped. The Mini Pin's ears need to remain taped for 6 to 12 weeks or until they stand up on their own. Some dogs need their ears to remain taped for up to 6 months with regular visits with the vet. In addition to ear cropping, Mini Pins commonly have their tails docked. The pros of docking the tails are mostly for aesthetics. The cropped tail gives the dog a fierce appearance, and the neat, short tail contributes to the clean lines of the Miniature Pinscher. The breed standard of the Mini Pin traditionally called for the tails to be docked. However, today both docked and undocked tails are accepted. Lastly, while unlikely, a docked tail can prevent damage to it if the Mini Pin is a working breed. The cons of docking the Miniature Pinscher's tail are often linked to the procedure itself. Generally, the procedure can be quite painful, especially if it is done when the dog is older. Improperly done, the mini pin can suffer from paralysis in his back end if a nerve is cut. In addition, scarring can occur at the incision site, and the mini pin will not be able to communicate as well as other dogs who have a tail. Like cropping the ears, tail docking is a surgery that has a number of risks. It is usually done by the breeder's veterinarian before the puppy is 8 days old and requires the miniature pinscher to be sedated. A small incision is made on the tail according to the breed standard. Usually the tail is docked to 1/4 of its length or in proportion to the dog. The vet cuts through the cartilage until the tail has been removed. Once removed, the incision site is sutured and the stitches are either absorbed or removed within a week after surgery. If you choose to have your mini pin's ears cropped and his tail docked, make sure to speak to your breeder beforehand. Many times the tail will be docked before the puppy comes home, but the ears will need to be done by you. Always ask your breeder for a reputable veterinarian experienced in doing this procedure. Thank you for watching Miniature Pinscher, Docking Tail and Ear Cropping. To learn more about caring for your mini pin, visit the link below.